Welcome to this video. Today we'll be comparing two popular painting mediums, tempera and oil paint. Both of these mediums have been used for centuries and have unique characteristics that make them ideal for different types of projects. Now it is time to jump in the main video. Before starting the deeper comparison, please subscribe to our channel for further notifications. So, let's start the video. The differences between oil paint and tempera. Component. Tempera paints are made by mixing pigments with egg yolks. First of all, tempera paints are made of non-toxic pigments, preservatives, water, and a binding agent, which is most likely egg yolk. Other emulsions, such as linseed oil and adhesives, are possible, but they are not as widespread as eggs. On the other hand, oil paintings are made with oil colors, which in turn are made of binder and pigments. The materials in oil paints are clean and blendable, while blending tempera takes a certain level of expertise.
Still wasting money on ads that get ignored? Let influencers tell your story. Promotional Pact connects your e-com brand to the right niche influencer to reach your target audience. Get more sales with less spent. Link in description.
Drying time. Tempera dries much faster than oil paints. One of the main problems with oil paints is that they take a lot of time to dry. Most artists use different layers of paint on a single painting, and it generally takes at least 24-48 hours for each layer to dry properly. On the other hand, tempera has a water-based formulation, hence it doesn't take tempera a lot of time to dry out. In fact, it takes barely 10 to 15 minutes for tempera paint to completely dry. Binder. Most oil paints have a binder made of linseed oil. You can use different binding agents with oil paints. They contribute to the drying time, durability, look, and texture of oil paintings, so you have to be more careful in your binder choice. With tempera, you don't have to make a lot of decisions, and therefore, keep your focus on the painting. You can dilute them with water and add a little bit of vinegar to preserve the egg white. The colors don't dry to a lustrous poster paint, but you get a lot of smoothness and matte on the artwork. Layering. You can apply oil paint in thick layers. The chances of a more creative and visually stunning artwork are with oil paints. This is because oil paint is buildable paint, meaning you can create one layer after another and still not ruin the painting if the layering is done right. The thick layers in oil paints make a painting visually astounding. On the flip side, you can't add multiple layers of tempera paint on the same painting. That might ruin the whole artwork. Application time. Tempera paint needs to be applied fast. Because tempera is a type of watercolor, the binder dries quickly and stamps the pigments on the painting surface. Liquid tempera paint can turn solid in a matter of a few minutes. So in order to have beautiful rich colors, you need to speed up your tempera painting. You can see interesting effects in an oil painting because the pigment in the bottom layers shines through the thin top layers. Plus, oil paints take a long time to dry. So artists can have sufficient time to rethink their art and rework when necessary. Longevity. Tempera paints last longer than oil paints. Even though the varnish in the tempera mixture is non-toxic and organic, it still does a better job at preventing fading, chipping, and cracking. An oil painting is more likely to fade and crack compared to one made with tempera. Consequence of time. Oil paints tend to turn yellow with time. If poster painting is done with the right supplies and kept with care, it's highly unlikely that any significant damage will occur to it. However, oils often tend to turn yellow after a few years, and you might see cracks in the pigment if not taken care of properly. A big part of tempera paint's color rendition depends on the type of pigment you are using. Now it's your turn. Which one impresses you the most? Let us know in the comments section below.